Yo, y'all see what's going on the east?
Shout out to Jabbin All-Star.
It's real bubbly right now.
YP, a.k.a. Young
It's kingdom time. Big guillotine.
Rick Ross, let's go.
Born covered in the blood, yes you are the father. Just a kid speaking tongues with no Dalai Lama. While they eating off the flesh like they Jeffrey Dahmer, I'm eating at the Lord's table like it's Benihana. He prepared it in from my enemy. I'm trying to learn the word in Greek like it's a spelling bee. Playing in the field, that flag came with a penalty. I only break bread with the ones I wanna remember me in memory of Christ. I think that they forget, or maybe they can't see. I hope it helps when I spit. Man, we could see trees, those burning bushes were lit so high we could hear God without taking a hit. They were too stoned, but you know the commandments and why I'm bitten apples on the back of all the tablets. I had to check myself because I had some extra baggage. God made me an all-star, Deborah made me Jared.
I'm coming through a storm with the squall, my brothers lit. Where they rob with ski masks and the gats got rubber grips. Snapshot of my past, these gutter pits in my hood, flooded with kings and bloods, but some was crips. Now we got the truth and we preach it to ya. I beat the boofer right there where they scrapping and creep with Lucer and beef with Rugers. For the gang I was bold like Machiavelli. We was scrapping heavy in the trap ready, where we would stash machetes. Now we got Jesus and think eternal, the one who gives the captive the freedom from the infernal. Bars turn to captures, my rapping can be a journal with horrific scenes turn into lyrics when being verbal. Broken in the spirit, you hear me? It got me stopping, got me locked in, got me rocking for guilty sinners like Johnny Cochran. In the spirit there's war, like guns you know we poppin', flow we knockin', bringing that New York feeling
I'm
like
something
Obi
you never seen before. I'm really out of this earth. I could go and jump in the sky and then catch a meteor. For meteors, the difference between beef and war. Anointing oil, you want to squeegee, wipe the curses off a Ouija board. The Lord forgave me for my brute ways. Dog, I was lost, wanted to shoot strays. When I opened that Bible, I turned a new page. When I was lukewarm, I asked the Lord for strength. Then he turned me to Luke Cage. I was a master sinner since I came from the sewer. Used to being around them shells like Master Splinter. Man, I wish you would try me. Get a master splinter, master liver. Demons running, becoming the fastest sprinter. I thank God that his hands is bigger than my problems. I used to solve them. Glass of liquor, nasty stripper. Now I fast with scriptures and walk in so much authority. I'm in the Florida Everglades.
Now who is it you think I'm talking to? I made moves and paid dues. Look up, who is that? King Jesus, believe he coming back. My heart and arteries carry his hemoglobin. Be cautious approaching you, sparring with gritty theologians. It's facts. Still hood, but on the ride of being sanctified. I kinda caught a vibe with this instrumental and nasty nines. New York state of mind needs to be realigned and balanced for it crashes. Hope it sees Jehovah and don't turn to ashes. My intent is for these rappers to repent. A Boogie to Cardi B, Ice Spice to 50 Cent. Who with me to win them? Name one thing impossible to God. The laborers are few, cause not too many wanna do the job. I get it, some of these Christians just ain't trying to be committed. They rather serve to a limit and scream amen if they feel it. It's time to separate the wheat from the tear. The ones that fear God from those that's living in fear. Who ready for real? Levanta tu machete, send Satan a message. Tell them be facing the exit. We not the saints to be messed with.
Apparently my soundboard was not connecting with the computer. We had to restart everything, reboot. So, where were we? Let's recap. We recapped. We had a video play.
We
talked about the De La Calle documentary. We talked about you and your Irish background, right? Played a little bit of the song. We were talking about Ybor when we stopped, right?
We were talking about Ybor, how many shots, so much shots. He just won one gun, my man. Plead not guilty. Talking about second degree self-defense.
He did plead self-defense. You think he's gonna make it?
Nah.
On self-defense?
Nah.
I'm trying to figure out where the other gunmen were because there was a lot more guns than that.
I'm sure he'll start whistling.
At least one other one.
I'm sure he'll start whistling so that he don't catch all of it.
Yeah, I hear that.
Especially we talking about kids.
I heard Ybor has been a dead zone since then.
I'm sure it will be for a long
last
time.
Week or two. You guys still go out to Ybor? You go out there a lot, at all?
I mean, I used to work bar security in Ybor, so that kind of, when you showed up, and you're getting paid to do it, and then you gotta show up, you gotta pay to be a part of it. You know, changes perspective. But
I hear that. Which club?
Coyote.
Oh, Coyote Ugly.
Yes, sir.
They be dancing on the bar over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, all of that.
I guess
It's not a bad crowd.
I guess it's more upsetting because people like H who throw events with non-issue, with adults. I'm not even gonna say adults. There's some youngsters in there, but got that much respect for the man not to go and do nothing crazy. But then again, it was in the middle of the street. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it kind of hurts for people like that who throws those type of events because now, you know what I'm saying, they're in a situation or whatever, which I'm sure he'll find many other ways to hustle, but it's still sad to see that, you know what I mean, it'll hurt him in some type of way because of knuckleheads and all that just want to verbally argue and then end with shots and hurt people around. Hurt a lot of people, son. You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
It was 18, I think it was 18 hurt, 2 dead.
Yeah.
Including a 14-year-old kid.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. That's just crazy. I saw one report where her mom was like freaked out because she saw her daughter on the news. Like that's how she found out her daughter got shot. Like she was watching it.
Yeah. And unfortunately at that age you can't really, you can raise them the way you want to raise them, you can parent them the way it should be, but at the end of the day they make that decision and they could tell you they're going to so and so's house, end up in Ybor, and whatever the case may be. So it's inevitable, man. That's why I always say never leave the house upset. You know what I mean? As a parent, you should always pray over your kids as they walk out. You know what I'm saying? That they have safe travels and travels back. You know what I mean? And nobody knows how to argue no more. Nobody knows how to fight. I'll just put it fight. You know what I'm saying? You just duke it out, and everything has to be done in a violent way to end somebody's life. And I'm sure that kid wasn't thinking about what he was thinking about until after the fact. So now his life is ruined for a 10-second pop off. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how, and it's hard because everybody wants to blame the system and the jails and all that, but we're literally putting ourselves in that situation. You're giving them the ammo to screw you. You know what I'm saying? I know some people at times, they caught up, by corruption. There's corruption in every category in the world. You know what I'm saying? But there's people who literally put themselves in that position to do what they have to do. And I don't respect those that do that. And then their friends come behind talking about free so-and-so. Free so the system got. Nobody want to hear none of that. You just as dumb as they are. You feeding their minds just as they are. You know what I'm saying? And now, what happens in jail? Now they gotta survive. You know what I'm saying? Now they gotta eat what they gotta eat. Now they gotta be in a bathroom style home for the next 20, 30 years and deal with that situation. You feel me? And it's sad because by the time they come out, they'll be wise enough to understand, but it'll be too late. You know what I mean? So, hey.
Speaking of kids and doing all these things, did you see the discourse between Dee-1 and Rick Ross?
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yes.
What we're talking about? Dee-1, do you know who Dee-1 is? He was on Sway, and he gets called out. Jim Jones, Meek Mill, Rick Ross.
No, what happened?
I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Let's do that. Right here. Let me get to the actual part here.
This man has been prophetic. This man has been standing on 10 toes down. This man has always.
It's up right.
Oh, with that being said, it's the OGs who I like to call DGs because they're disappointing grown-ups. That's what they are. It's the OGs in hip-hop. It's the ones that's 40-something years old. And, man, I hate when I see these gray head clout chasers who still talking about, and I send my young boys to come and wet your whole block up and da-da-da, and they still glorifying this. I look at with a Jim Jones, you could do better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro? Which one is it, bro? Cause I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing when my best friend got killed? When Carl got killed, New Orleans know who I'm talking about. When Carl got killed, and I had to go to his funeral and read the eulogy and be part of the funeral, and I got back in my car, Sway, after the funeral, and I turned on my music, and I realized I'm listening to music that's glorifying the same stuff that just happened to my best friend. It gave me chills, and I needed that moment. That was my come to Jesus moment of like, D, you got to do something different, brother, because you have a taste for this poison. But you're attracted to the poison, and rap is great. The rap game, hip hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison.
Feel what I'm saying? So,
I mean, that's an unpopular opinion right now in hip hop, right? Because of the way the culture is going. It's actually kind of makes me feel a little reminiscent of Vince Staples. Y'all are tuned into his music. That he was at one point seen, I guess, by some as like the next chosen gangster rapper, right? Like he was able to like fit like a nice line for West Coast at least, right? Yeah. And then I think he himself kind of noticed and realized that. No, he had a homie, I think it was Jabari. He rapped about him on Sway, where he said like literally he's like, I'm like, you know, the same things that I'm talking about. That's gonna like the music that's gonna get somebody to get in the car and go and make that decision today. I'm making that music, and that's from his perspective, has literally like, you know, lost somebody to that. So it's like, but the tough part with it though is because it's like, you know, when we watch movies, Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, those type of things, it's like we don't even have these type of conversations. Right. And with hip hop, it's always been so rooted in being real and being true to what you're doing. And you know, it's kind of funny how it's like almost like if you're rapping about stuff you used to do, drug dealing and whatnot, right? It can almost be seen like, you know, oh, like, you know, the Drake Pusha T kind of like, you know, oh, you're talking about stuff you did, da da da. It's like, it's weird. It's like Eminem has a bar about it, right? This entertainment stuff is all screwed up or something. I forget. It was Till I Collapse.
I don't remember.
He said it's crazy, man, when we confuse hip hop with real life when the music stops. Music stops.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. So what do you feel about Solo? I know that's your boy Dee-1.
That's not my boy, to be honest with you. I don't like music personally. You know what I'm saying? But I respect the man because besides being a Christian, besides being a rapper, he is a professor. Was a professor at Harvard. Is a professor. His teachings are hip hop culture mixed with financial literacy. He's literally teaching his kids how to get out the hood the smart way. He gives away to the kids. He has never shut down the hip hop community because of who they are. Like he said, he showed love to Meek Mills by giving our kids the reform sneakers that he created that got him out of jail to kids. Right. A regular Christian wouldn't do that because of their base beliefs.
Yeah, they wouldn't usually push
exactly.
One of these rappers' brands
at all. The type of person that Dee-1 is. So when he's coming at somebody like that, he's coming at somebody in love. He just actually did this with another Christian called Lecrae.
Yeah, I heard a little bit about that.
And he went at him because of his talking about you could be ratchet and righteous at the same time. So he comes from the heart. He speaks from the heart. And that's my respect for the man. You know what I'm saying? Putting everything else aside. You know what I mean? I used to listen to Rick Ross every single day. I used to listen to Meek Mill every single day. Trust me, I've been there. I will also say he's right. You're at the age to where we no longer want to hear what you did. You did it. We heard that 5 albums ago, 6 albums ago. But at the same time, you're not rapping about what you did. You're rapping about what you're going to do. How would you do it? And you're influencing these kids. That influence in Ybor City, where that influence you think came from? It didn't come from no Martin Scorsese movie. It didn't come from none of that situation. It came from literally what you're listening to. Growing up, when we was in the club, what would the DJ play to end the night? So the entire night, people are doing drugs, people are drinking, people are on heavy medication. By the time the night ends, all that anger build up, and then sometimes they're not even angry. They enjoying themselves. But when that last song of the night come on, that Knuck If You Buck, it turns the whole club into a rage. Next thing you know, fighting break out everywhere, creating chaos.
Knuck If You Buck will do that.
and the DJs know that, and that's what made it the worst, because that's what they like to entertain. You feel me? So if you continue to rap about the same thing, you're feeding it to these kids. I've literally watched these young kids talk like that, speak like that, and they don't even know what they be speaking until they commit the crime, and then they don't know what happened. And then they want to claim, and then they want to cry and do all that. When Meek Mill was going through his situation, well, all he did, complain that the judge had it out for him, complain that the state attorney had it out for him. He cried, and he cried. He got out of jail, all of a sudden, now it's back to I kill, I shoot niggas, I woo. That's fake, bro. That's fake, bro. And Rick Ross, you made a lot of money, off cocaine, fam. We get it. We understand it. That doesn't still not going to trump. That's still, just because you give out food to the community or you take care of the community, that does not mean anything. A lot of these mobsters kill people on a daily basis and gave out turkeys, fed families.
Yeah, they do.
They did all that.
Which actually was his response. You want me to play his response?
And
Rick Ross
that's
responded.
Instead of understanding where the part he was coming from, he came from a part of, oh, this is what I do though. I can speak about it because I do this for the community. So it's okay that I give this to the community, but it's also okay to me to teach these kids how to kill each other and bang with each other. And then we want to talk about black on black crime. And we want to talk about hip hop being damaged and why people look at hip hop is exactly my point. It's exactly my point. So I don't want to hear none of that. And I don't want to hear talk about, oh, it's artistry and blah, blah, blah. Because I don't want to hear none of that. Because if you so real, your artistry should be based on who you are, not what the next person talk about.
Can I play Rick Ross's response?
Yeah, you don't want no more smoke from me, son.
Meek Mill, you could do better. Jim Jones, you could do better. Rick Ross, you could do better. I gotta see you do better. Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait. Until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. You speaking on Meek Mill. Boy, you know how many niggas died this summer? They released self-destruction. It's niggas dying right now. It's gonna be niggas don't make it to see in the morning. Get that basket off your head, boy, and come together with real niggas around the world. So when your grandma need a kidney, nigga.
So that was Rick Ross's response. I think he's posted another one. It was pretty much around the same kind of explanation. That was pretty much his response.
Can I give you my gut reaction?
Go ahead.
Makes me feel like hip hop culture is just like, toxic, whatever, right? But it's like an abusive, like a mentally abusive relationship or something, right? It's like the relationship where it's like, oh, I wish you would, and like imagine the music is like to telling people to go out into cars, I'll murder your ops. So if I got a problem with somebody, I'm da-da-da-da-da, right? And then it's like, oh, but I'm feeding my community. I'm feeding the kids, though. It's like you're feeding the kids both, the poison and the cure, right? In a sense. But no, and even then, the Kendrick Lamar album, he said, we're all, what'd he say? we're all killers. Some are slower. He was saying about like last Thanksgiving I was handing out turkeys and the cholesterol. He was on some like high thought.
Yeah.
But like to me, it's kind of funny. It makes Rick Ross kind of felt like Burt Kreischer, if you guys know who he is. He kind of felt like a little not self-aware in that moment, because he even said, he was like, "Oh, you're not going viral off the strength of your talent, you telling your wisdom." It's like, you perceive it not to be wisdom, but I think he was trying to do that, right?
Yeah, he was trying to give him a bit of wisdom, bro.
The man's been viral. That's what makes it worse.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I was wondering. Like when I saw the response, I was like, "But this dude this is not the first time he's on Sway."
What he was trying to say is the money level is not the same. So he tried to use wisdom as a crutch to make it sound like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know who this guy is because he's not on my level. And that's, again, idolatry. Money is what makes the world flip. You know what I'm saying? Money is what buys things. Money is what makes you smart. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he went wrong. I would have respected the man if he would have had a better answer to that. I would have respected Meek Mill if he would have had a better answer.
I would have respected them if they just acknowledged and said, "Yeah, you're right, but we making bread." Even if they had just said that and acknowledged it, just been real about it, owned it, I would have respected that more. But just the fact that you just push it away and are like, "Oh well, because I give all these things away," and that was kind of my gut reaction, was like, "Okay, because you give all these things away, now you're a good guy." That's not true. Like,
exactly right.
The worst of the dudes, that's what they usually do before they kill you. It's the sweet talk before the deception. Yeah. But Dee-1 did respond to that.
Oh man!
Right afterwards. Yeah, we're being bochincheros today.
Okay.
We're gonna play this.
Rick Ross! First of all, I love you, brother, and I want you to know that because you sounded a little upset in your video reply to me. But I love you too much to not be honest with you. And right now, you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. Oh, then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. Just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country. Done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip-hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University.
There you go. So this is no slump.
Move with love, man.
Yeah. I'm glad that he didn't really diss the dude. He just, he responded in love.
Not going to, and he that's not his character. He won't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, even Meek Mill tweeted to him, his grandfather just died. That was one of his pride and joys. He's called him Papa. He's from New Orleans. And when he shot that out to Meek Mill's response was, "Papa will be proud." That's super disrespectful. That's super disrespectful. And in his first response to that, it was a little longer than that. He had to take a moment, and he almost cried online because you could tell he wanted to say something about that, but he ate it and still continue to show love. And that's why I respect the man. I follow the man. I watched the man for a long time. The way he dabbles with hip hop is what I wish that most Christians would dabble with hip hop. Not act like they're holier than thou. This man has many features with hip hop artists. Many.
Yeah, I saw that. He started listening to some at one point with Sway when he was on an interview with Sway. He actually had
many. He has more features with hip hop artists than Christian artists. He's really in the hip hop community like that, so he does have a right to speak his mind, and it's the truth. Nobody wants to hear, but it's the truth. If you want to sit back and continue to hide behind his art, then the world ain't gonna get right, bro. The world ain't gonna get right. Period.
Well, you know that music ain't going away. There's still an expression for that music, and there's people who are living that life and doing that music.
It's just gonna keep going, and it's not. I'm not gonna blame it all on artists. I gotta blame it on people that are putting these artists on, the record labels, the record execs. That's their job. Because I've literally heard record execs say they suck, but their content is what's going to make us money because that's what the people want to hear. So that's what we're going to put on, and that's what we're going to push. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I
So
think that's part of the problem, though. For me, I find it hard to blame executives only because I feel like the audience asked for it.
well,
If we
why?
weren't asking for it, they wouldn't feed us it.
Why exactly? So if you give them what they asked for, you're gonna lose money. If you stand for change, you're gonna lose followers. If you stand for what's right and not what feels right, you're gonna be canceled. So I rather not be canceled and give them what they feel and not what's right, so that I can feel right and not say what's right.
I don't even think they think of it that deep, bro. I just think they think numbers. When you're talking to executives, they ain't even think everything
No,
is
I'm not
numbers.
talking about the artists right now. When it comes to executives, they don't
Yeah.
care about. They don't care. Again, they don't live in the hoods. They don't have to deal with that. They don't
They
have
ain't
to
even
go to
think about it.
concerts. They don't have to go to signings. They don't have to go to. They don't have to deal with it. They sign paperwork from home online. They don't have to do nothing. Sign checks and sign paperwork. That's it. Kill yourselves.
Man, I think you also got to put it on the artist a little bit though too, man.
Oh, they
Cause
can.
like, cause
They
if you
can.
think about, you're saying like, oh, what the audience wants, but like sometimes you show up to the restaurant and it's what's the chef's recommendation today? Oh, that's what he's saying. That's what I'm going with. Hip hop
Mm-hmm.
is birthed on. Oh, you guys don't even know what this is right now. Let me show you what hip hop is. I got this beat break. I got this turntable, right? And I think what we need to do is just face it as like, whether you label yourself a conscious rapper, Christian rapper, alternative rapper, whatever you want to say, like maybe it's just a testament that you gotta step your shit up a little bit, man, because one, maybe it's just easier to sell that content, right? About like, murder the ops, pull up on the block, sliding on, whatever. But at the same time, it's like there's a place for storytelling. There's a place for, I feel like it's a little bit of a cop out, because the artists are all ultimately responsible for
What they create.
yeah, because like think of like I brought up Tarantino earlier. Like Tarantino doesn't make his movies for the audience; he makes it for himself, and then he knows that he has confidence in his taste that there will be an audience for his taste.
Right.
So it's like I feel like if a lot of artists in general, maybe that's why we're in a weird little corny lull right now, where it's like there's not enough artists with the confidence in themselves to be like, might not work right now, but. I don't want to like go all the way like because I know we're talking about Rick Ross, but because Rick Ross has like some very insightful like deep moments in his like maybe B-sides if you need to look there.
He does. Listen, I have some on the playlist. I'm not. It's not like I don't listen to no Ross, but there are like some of his latest work there's some mature content in there, some insightful content. There's just not a lot of it, I feel like his is kind of like half and half-ish. Like it's half bragging and random street shit, and then the other half is like I'm grown up and here's some insight.
Right. That's kind of what they're talking about with Drake stuff. That his stuff is a little half and half, where it's like
Drake's still a child. That's how I feel.
I mean,
Drake loves
superstardom will do that to you, man.
Drake enjoys catering to the younger crowd.
Yeah.
That's what gets him to plays. I respect Drake because he doesn't stay in his lane. He dabbles.
He does.
He also likes to cater to the younger crowd. He doesn't like to cater to the older crowd as he gets older because he knows the younger crowd is going to eat what he gives. The older crowd is not going to eat that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I would have respected more. I mean, your first album is always going to be a gritty album because you came out the hood. You coming out fresh. You know what I mean? Your second album, you in change mode. You buy your third album, you should be able to allow them to understand that what you gained, the houses, the cars, the luxuries, because of the sweat, hard tears that you put in to your life of leaving that life and changing it by using your artistry and your music to make changes. You know what I'm saying? Not continue that because you're making them kids believe that it's okay to do this, this, and this to get where you at. It's okay to kill people for 10,000. It's okay to sell drugs and all that so that you can get the house that I got. You didn't get that house that you got like that.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You got the house that you got like that because you became an artist. You became an artist. And then some of these young artists decided they want to get that type of artistry, make those type of money, and still stay in the hood. That's why they're not lasting. Because the same people that they got out the hood from, and the same people that pushed them out the hood to get access, now are on their neck because now they want what he got, and he's not giving it. So now they taking it.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day, even drug funded rap was like on the low. Now it's like they just walk up with the duffel bags, talk about this dope money.
They don't even care, bro, and that's what makes it the worst. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I
Always been like that though, right? Even Frank Sinatra and the Mob, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just more. It was more on the low. It was, there was a long period of time in music where like we knew there was a lot of corruption in the background. I mean, it's an easy industry to wash money through. It's a high risk market. If you all of a sudden lose $1 million, nobody's really asking questions because it's the music industry. Oh yeah, they lost $1 million. Really, you just washed $1 million. So it's a very easy market to wash money through. But people, it's always existed. I feel like the mob and the Jews really pushed the music industry to what it is today. Between both those groups. But nowadays I just feel like young bucks are like, they're selling dope on the street. They're stacking duffel bags and they're just walking in studios. Like, this is dope money. And then they're putting it online. Like, even the New York drill rap was like that when they just did a big RICO case out in New York. And the drill rappers, this police officers, their whole investigation, they didn't have to go nowhere. They just pulled the YouTube videos and matched it to the cases.
That's what drill rap is.
They matched it to the cases.
Drill rap is specifically made. That's what drill rap is, bro.
These dudes, they were literally in their songs describing the weapon they used, the names of the people that they either killed or hurt or stole from, the streets that it happened on. Like, literally, they just mapped out the whole crime.
Damn, you want to know who I'm thinking as the poster child right now? Especially like my generation. I remember his song was ringing off like end of my high school. Bobby Shmurda.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you think about it, it's like, low key we were just talking about how Drake may be aiming his music more towards the younger generation, right? And we all know that the youth is more impressionable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, when you have the hottest song of, I'm swear you put that song on right now, Hot Boy, anybody from my generation is going to start doing you know what I mean? So it's like, when that song is one of the most hit songs, and then you also have the like respect level from like our generation was like, oh, well, he took the time with Rowdy, It's like he didn't just like put it on his board. There's like, there's like a romanticized idea that we have of this kind of on some like Tupac stuff, But like, it's like we don't get to see after the movie, right? All we get to see is them like, oh, we got the bag, went to the studio, damn, went to jail.
Yeah.
Damn.
Brother can't even rap, bro. He just made that one joint again. Got put on, went to jail, came back out, and he can't even make a song he can't even make a song for his life, bro.
I mean, I don't know what he's doing right now. He might be smoking a Cuban.
I don't know.
Some
again,
Cubans, I don't know.
His dumbness got him in jail.
Yeah.
I used to listen to Pop Smoke. I used to love how Pop Smoke used to rap. But again, you continue to glorify it after you gained everything, and look where it got you.
Yeah.
And we can continue on. How many RICO cases are we talking about?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like the minute I don't know. It's whatever, bro. It's a continuous argument that only ignorant people can't see what's happening. And they want to blame it on the white man. They want to blame it on the system. They want to blame it on the government. And Biggie. I got respect for NWA because their music was literally talking about what they were literally going through. And that's their anger towards the cops because that's exactly what they were dealing with.
There's people our generation doing that though too.
Huh?
And it's just as real, just as gutter, and like sometimes it's just as nuanced. Like, it's definitely like I don't know if I can quote an exact Nipsey song, but I'm sure Nipsey could be somebody you could attest to. Maybe he's the most positive side of it, right? Being able to talk about that lifestyle, give like better perspective on it. But
But again, what's the problem with Nipsey? He decided he wanted to put his stuff in the hood. In the hood. The same people he talking about getting at, the same people that murked him, son. There's always going to be a hater.
I feel like the issue with people in the industry, like like these like Nipsey's and some of these guys that get caught up on drug charges and stuff like that, is that you make all this millions of dollars, you make all this money in the music industry, but then you hold on to the street shit.
It's hard to let go of it, man.
Well, sometimes it won't let go of you. Sometimes you can't just walk away.
No, it's not.
I was thinking Money Mitch, but like, yeah, you're right though too, right?
Yeah, it's one of the reasons when we were doing music, I had multiple offers of people like, yo, oh yeah, I'll drop you like 100 racks. But I knew where the money was coming from.
No.
So I'm not about that life, right? So in my head, I'm going, why would I take that money knowing that it now ties me to you?
Damn.
And then now I owe you because you put money down that helped now propel me. Now when you ask for something, I owe you that favor.
And damn,
why would I put myself in that?
And low key, recruitment feels like my soul. Doesn't even feel like there's a number I can put on it, right?
Literally, your soul, because when they say favor, it does not mean musically, bro.
Yeah, it's never music.
Never musically. You know what I'm saying? So it's either that or your family after you dumb enough to look at that bread in the way you shouldn't be looking at it. You know what I'm saying? The people just not. They choose not. They choose to turn the eye, son.
Well, they also just don't understand how things work. So a RICO, you know how a RICO works, right?
Yeah.
So a RICO basically, let's say I take somebody's money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now a RICO case comes down, feds indict it, everybody gets raided. I'm getting raided with them because the money's flowing in my direction. Yeah. I'm benefiting from this crime, or this set of crimes. Now they could have murdered 5 people in the last 6 months. I could have known nothing about it. But because I'm still part of the criminal enterprise and the organization, I now also get charged with the murders. I now also get charged with the money laundering. I now get also charged with all the racketeering. Whatever activities y'all did that I had nothing to do with, now I'm getting hit with it. And that's where you see all them flipping on each other because now everybody's trying to figure out how they can minimize their sentences. So that's kind of the name of the game of RICOs.
And that's why I feel like you got to put a little bit of respect to Bobby Shmurda, though, because, like, the worst thing we hate is if you're going to commit the crime, not be willing to do the time, you're going to cry about it, where it's like, I just want to give him a little flowers just because we kind of came at him in his music. It's like, at least he stood on something,
Please.
I mean, it's not like, I'm not saying it's the hill that I want to die on, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah,
a lot of people would just flipped and been like, you would have never.
Huh?
It one sunflower. That's it. One.
Sunflower.
But if that one sunflower can grow a garden of other people who are willing to take accountability, I'm here for it, man.
Nothing. It's gonna go dead.
There is a level. There is something about a person that'll take accountability for what they do, and be like, "Yo, I'll eat that because I did that."
Especially right there.
So
now the question is, do you continue doing the same dumb shit after the fact?
So 6ix9ine was a rat.
6ix9ine, I mean, he was involved. This dude wasn't just involved; he was ordering hits.
Right.
Like if he wasn't an innocent bystander that was just like, oh, I didn't know what was going on. He was benefiting from this. He was ordering hits literally live.
Yeah.
Well, he was funding all of them.
He was funding the whole thing.
And beat up by them, and then getting. You know what I'm saying? Like it again.
Streets don't love you.
Exactly, and they knew he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And goes to tell you how done. So you can't call a kid a rat when you knew from the gate he was a rat. You just knew the amount of money he had, and y'all was so greedy that money made you turn the eye of knowing that he's a rat. So when he starts twerking, when he starts twirling his mouth off, now all of a sudden he's a rat. Come on, son. Let's not do that. I don't listen to the nigga. I don't respect the nigga. But again, you got to see both eyes of the spectrum.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole court case, but I'm curious because I feel like their money is really what propelled them.
They beat him up. They did everything to this kid. And he was the one that was funding the whole organization.
Well, that's the question here, because at the end of the day, like when they first linked up, he wasn't that huge. He was actually not big at all. I have a feeling that they funded the initial part of his music career.
Oh, understand this. He wasn't big here. He was international. He was
No, I'm
big.
not. I'm talking about before he even popped off. Like when his first big single hit, they were all there. They did a fucking video in front of the.
Okay, okay. So take any kid from the hood, put a bunch of gang niggas behind them, tell them to rap this way.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, of course, a label's gonna come forth and give him money.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Of course, the labels. Of course, you know what I'm saying.
They can see money signs.
Who's to say? If anything, these gang members literally went and threatened certain people, made a certain phone calls, and put him in that position. Did they fund? Absolutely not. They used their enforcement. They used their hoodness to do what they had to do, and they got well off paid for it, and they took most definitely advantage of the situation. Slept with his girls, kidnapped them, did whatever else. You know what I'm saying? But this kid, everywhere he goes, every country he goes to, he pulls off on the side of the road and drops $10,000 to the flower man at the light. He'll go to the hood and he'll go to the hood, see 100 kids, and every kid gets $200-300.
Right.
Without even caring.
Right. But I mean, that goes back to what we said about Ross. You can give away all the money you want, but if you're acting up,
Exactly.
acting up.
Exactly. And now what he's doing, he's back doing the same thing because he's empowered by a female and he feels on a higher scale.
He got amplified by the booty.
Powered back again. And now it's gonna happen again. So again.
He even paid for more operations to amplify himself even further.
I don't feel bad for the kid, but you know, what's right is right at the end of the day.
You notice he did Spanish music afterwards. You notice he's been jumping to the Latin market now?
He was dabbling with Spanish music beforehand. I think that project that had like Gummo and everything, there was a song maybe on the back end with was it Anel? Anel? Was it AA?
Yeah, Anwin.
Yeah, that song was pretty lit though. I like when people.
He's another one. He did, and Noel wrote most of those records that he did. Blew up, took over. The minute he called the rat, and Noel took the back piece like, yo, I don't know nothing. Nigga, you wrote them records. What you talking about? You don't know nothing. And this was after the fact. You still dabbled with the nigga, but the minute it went public, oh no fui yo. Que yo, Anuel, no, hasta la muerte, brr.
Damn, imagine getting caught up in a RICO charge because you were the songwriter. You were the ghostwriter, bro.
It could happen, though.
I'd be so mad. It's like one day I'm working at Publix, and then somebody hits me up, be like, yo, come to the studio session, right? And I'm sitting there like, okay, man. And I'm like trying to like give him some bars, and then like 2 days later, the FBI just pops up, and they're like, do you know this man?
Right.
You're like, damn, bro.
That'd be their dream, because they're like, this guy don't want to go to jail. He ain't built for prison. Let's press him. Let's see how much info we can get.
I don't know nothing.
And how could I sell a record for his life?
And when?
You know when Anuel started selling records? When he got that gun charge and did 2-3 years. After that, blew up everywhere. Blew up in jail.
Yeah. You think it's because he got arrested?
Again, Anuel couldn't write a record to save his life. Anuel used to make trap before all those charges. Before, bro, he was about 110 pounds wet. He would go, he's from my hood. He would go city to city. He would try with all sorts of things. And the minute he got caught because somebody said something to him, he was going to pull up. He pulled up with 4 niggas in the car, bag full of ammo, guns everywhere. Somebody ratted on him that he was going there. They caught him on the way, locked him up. And mind you, his dad was the A&R for Sony for over 20 years. So he had access to the industry. He was signed to Rick Ross, Maybach Music, through Spiff TV.
Ross.
The minute he got locked up, Spiff TV backed up, Maybach Music backed up. He was by himself. So all that music all of a sudden became his reality, and he blew up in jail. Then he started recording in jail, and that's where all the whole trap and all that started. The whole Spanish trap, that's where it all began. And And then from there came Brian Myers and Almighty, and everybody else started falling in line with the Spanish trap. And Bad Bunny, you know, the little sweet Bad Bunny, the little LGBTQFING Bad Bunny we see today. That's not who Bad Bunny is. Go to Bad Bunny's first video, and you can see who Bad Bunny is. A lyricist.
Yeah, you put me out to Bad Bunny. I remember.
Sam, you definitely can't talk to me about Spanish music because I'm that.
Yeah.
I know all of it. You know what I'm saying? But the minute he got in jail, that became glorified. Next thing you know, he became a millionaire while he was in jail.
I mean, that's not a bad way to come home.
Yeah, man. Hustling.
But he was smart. He recorded while he was in jail.
Yeah. Which is crazy. But they have a freaking recording studio in the jail, bro?
Yeah, if they were doing it just through the phone, just like
he would have to call and spit his verse over the phone, and the beat would be delayed. So not only would he have to rap to the beat, he would have to rap to a delayed beat.
Shout out his engineer, man. You gotta pay engineers.
That's where all his hits came from.
That's crazy.
That's where all his hits came from, bro.
This is an international star.
Hey, I love it, man.
It's crazy.
DIY, bro. I mean, maybe not was most intended, you know, over a payphone, but you know, I like it.
I can dig it. Yeah, that's what it is. You about to spit your stuff over a phone? Have it recorded?
I mean, I kind of already put like the phone distortion effect over and stuff like that. So like, you know, let's experiment, man. Let's see what happens.
He got some dope vibes, solo. He got a new track that he dropped, right?
Yes, sir.
It's called By My Side.
By my side.
Let's say we were playing it earlier. It's different.
Hi, Mr. Mack. Where's Alex?
End of the day, I got you on my mind. I got you on my mind. I want you by my side. Girl. Wish you were
pretty
my girl. Wish you were my girl. Wish you were mine. I want
production.
you by my side. By my side. I want you by my side. By my side. I want you by my side, girl. Ready to ride for you. Ready to ride. I want you by my side. It's been some days since I seen my girl. Since I seen my girl, I need her in my world. It's been some days since I seen your face, your pretty little face. I need you right away. It's been a hell of a day. Feel like I'm stuck in my ways. Been working nights to the grave. Guess that's the price to be great. I still be stuck in my ways. I'm Lenny Kravitz with range. Been needing something to change. If you just came my way. I heard it all before, sober dancing Latino. Ay, bumping Black Swan, put my girl on the Smino. Ay, pop another bag, I blow my nose with a C-No. I'm 777 casino, let's book a trip out to Rio. End of the day, I got you on my mind. I got you on my mind.
So let me ask you, what's your influences musically?
Definitely like fast. I mean, I definitely grew up on like the pop 40 type stuff. My mom would be more like, you know, classic rock kind of in tune. I'd say Eminem is probably what put me on to hip hop, and then through him 50 Cent, and then through the 50 Cent Kanye. You know, I kind of ended up following Kanye a little bit more as his career went. But yeah, definitely rock, classic. You know, I just love music, man. I listen to Nina Simone, I listen to Sade, Slick Rick.
Okay. 50,
man.
50.
I read his book too with they did with Robert Greene. So like, I think 50 is a genius, bro. Like, and you know, puts it out there for people.
That's the book he did. Isn't that the one he did early 2000s?
Yeah.
I think they sent me that book. I still have it.
And
His publisher sent me the book to review.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, we did a review on that it was like on some other website that was like some online hip hop site. So we did the review on the book and stuff like that. Pretty dope book. I liked it.
Yeah. I think the new one is really like powerful. I forget what the name of it is. It's him sitting in the chair like with the business suit on.
Did Robert Greene help him with that one?
I don't believe so. He might have done the preface for it, but I don't believe they worked like writing it on that one. I think that was actually more like probably 50s words. I don't know. I just like the wisdom, bro. Even like Power, his show, I feel like he still tries to like put wisdom in it. Like kind of what we had talked about in the past with Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like trying to like put some of your wisdom into the characters.
Yeah, yeah. I was talking to him yesterday. I watched the Sly documentary on Netflix for Sylvester Stallone. You gotta watch it.
They got Paramount Plus got a. You watched the mixtape documentary?
I did. That was fire.
And I gotta watch that, John.
Yeah, that was fire. So most of your hip hop influences were then basically your 2000 and on, then, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I grew up in like the big three era, so like Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, of course. I'd say Lil Wayne era was definitely like, you know, when he was killing it. I've definitely like, I'm the type of person like I go back to the time capsule and try to find out what was popping before too. So definitely started off 2000s and then I start kind of going back.
Did you go like how far did you go back? I'm always curious as to the younger guys how far they go into hip hop.
Well, I mean, we could break it all the way back down to Sugar Hill Gang, but like even that, I love that story because it's like low key. People try to Sugar Hill Gang is such a bigger like story because it's literally was it executive produced by a woman who heard some guys rapping and then she was like, "Ooh, I want to get that," and then she pretty much like got the ghostwriters, gave it to the artist, which was the Sugar Hill Gang, and then they performed it.
I'm glad that he knows that Sugar Hill Gang, that Rappers Delight was ghostwritten. I'm really glad that you know that.
I got a lot of
crazy
respect
to me.
and he's very knowledgeable, smart. He understands what music is. He speaks from the heart. We need more of him in the hip hop community, and there definitely will be change. You know what I'm saying? But knuckleheads out here don't think like him. They don't move. You know what I'm saying? They don't see life the way he sees life. They don't respect their OGs, and it's not even like, you know, I don't think the OGs out here like, yo, respect me like on that. Like I did this. Like just respect. They started it for you. They paved the way. You know what I'm saying? You're doing music now, and your creativity now comes from us having to fight for it because it wasn't accepted. And now that it was accepted, it grew into what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? From hip hop grew drill, down south, whatever else genre you want to call it. I don't call all this hip hop because it's not all hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But at least just acknowledge, like, yo, I appreciate them paving the way. It doesn't say, oh, their music sucks. And they don't think the right way. You know what I'm saying? That's why I salute you. You know what I mean? I got love for you. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing your thing. You know what I mean? God continue to bless you. You know what I'm saying? He got major things happening in your life. And, you know, always seek God first, man. And he'll lead the way through life. You heard?
Amen, Solo. Mac Jesus, bro. When you praise me, you gotta praise him too, bro.
Praise who?
You said who?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what you said, you gotta build upon the people that were here before you. Like before Mac Jesus, before Jesus, there was Jesus, man.
Who's Mac Jesus?
That little thing at the bottom right hand.
Mac Jesus. That's it. Calls himself Mac Jesus. That's his IG handle.
That's just an
Mac,
AKA
come on.
that my homie Mike Rari, my homeboy, was gave me during a football play. I went up for a catch, dude took my legs out. I caught the first time.
Yeah, we'll save that conversation for another day.
Solo's like, I was trying to show you love.
I mean, I appreciate the love, man. I just, you know, I gotta be me.
I respect Mac. I don't know about no Mac Jesus. Ain't no way
I don't expect people to call me that. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I definitely had I had a football teammate who would say like, "What's up, Mr. Mac Jesus?" And I'd be like,
There's only one creator on this earth. Ain't nobody can do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you though. I got much love for you. You know what I'm saying? Mac.
Love for you too. Thank you, man.
So funny.
Let's leave it there. I love it. It was beautiful.
So what's next for you, bro? Are you released a single? What else you got coming?
So I ultimately have like a body of work done that I'm very excited about, which is going to be titled Mac Jesus, you know. But for me, I want to bring people along for the journey, you know. I've definitely like gone through the just put out songs just to put out songs, maybe attach it with a music video, whatever. But I feel like I really captured like a story, a theme, a message with it. It's around love. It's around kind of like, you know, I have a song Southside, my last single before By My Side, and on that it's you know, I've seen brains on the pavement, pills on the table, cash in the stash, my life's like a fable. Shit was never sweet, but the drip game be maple. Baby spray the block up, now the blood drops on the cradle. So like for me, like, you know, it's talking about, you know, where I've come from, the people that, you know, I know, and kind of, you know, I have a song on there. It's not released, but I performed a couple times. It's called "Help 'Em Sleeping My Life Away," and you know, so ultimately, like I have a journey, I have a story I want to take people on, and the first step is just, you know, introducing them to the music and different vibes. You know, Southside doesn't sound like By My Side, and doesn't sound like what the next single is going to be either, probably. But I'm just creating, and I'm excited that I have like a body of work that I feel like encapsulates both my production, all produced by me, and what I actually want to stand on musically. I had a song, I still have a song called Sage and Demons that I put out. And I feel like solo, I would love to get solos, just instant action to solo. Oh, man, there's a music video for it, too. I would love his reaction to it because...
Might freak him out.
Yeah, maybe, man. There's a Ouija board. The song...
I'm covered by the blood. None of that freaks me out, son.
Okay. But that song is for Sage and Demons. For me, it was like the first verse, I was like getting the demon out, you know? And then the second verse, I'm talking about anxiety. And I'm talking about kind of like other, like the demons that you carry, you know? And you know,
you're saging them out?
Yeah, and the idea was the song was saging the demons out, you know? Because, like, it is a really high, like, you know, it's, I ghost her on my Ouija board, yo, bitch, wish she could see me more. I'm in a moody India or supplying shit. You know, so it's like energy, and that's like, you know, I've always been searching for, like, one of those, and this was finally the one. It's like, you know, I kept building on that high energy song, that boom. And then I feel like I was also able to put it in a way where you hear it the first time, you're like, I've showed like people, like acquaintances, the song and been like, oh, you should listen to it. And then after them listening to it, I'm sitting there realizing like, damn, you heard that I ghost her on my Ouija board and I fucked your bitch and ain't enjoy it. Head game week, you unemployed. Like, you know, you heard that and you probably like, maybe that took you out, but you don't realize what I'm trying to actually say is like, that's some bullshit. Let me tell you, like, the real, like, you know, the second verse for me is, like, you know, I'm saying, what's anxiety? Tell the truth, guess it comes a variety. I'm in a room, everybody got their eye on me, and if I step, make a move for the chime me, I hit a boop in the coop, that'll mind me. Like, you know, but.
Yeah?
So,
You have to send it to Solo. We're going to have to videotape that reaction.
I feel like, because the video is a little bit, I wouldn't say demonic, but it's definitely, like, I mean, there's a Ouija board that, like, is in it, so I know some people say, Ouija board demonic, but, like, I feel like we do it in the guy who did it for me, James Ridley, Project Jarhead. He was a film student and was just scrolling through like Tampa local music people, and I guess I happened to pop up whatever I was posting at the time, and he reached out to me and I guess 2 other people. They didn't reach back out to him. He followed up with me. I followed up and we filmed that video. And shout out to him. And he just dropped a 3-part series 2 called Dollface. It's a short horror, and he just had the live premiere in Ybor too. Like
it's like horror flickish.
Yeah,
basically.
It's
Gotcha.
slasher. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So shout out to the people, man.
Solo's like, I'm good on all that. I'm gonna listen to D1 after this.
I just pray that none of those demons followed you home after that, brother.
Which one?
I pray that none of those demons followed you home after that.
Oh, I didn't personally touch the Ouija board. I can't even lie. It's a weird story with that too, because I'm like, you know, I'm kind of with you with that, where I'm like, you know, people be like, oh, go into the bathroom, say Bloody Mary 3 times. I'm like, I value my life, man. Like, maybe nothing happens, but like,
right.
I'm gonna find out, and then it's like, oh, cut the black. There's the credits. So I definitely agree, but that was a weird one because I was a little apprehensive, but then he was saying like, yo, I think it'd be really dope do it with a time lapse, and I'd be able to do it, and it'll have moving, the lights will flicker, and I'm like, I see it. And then I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't even have to touch it. I'll literally give it to him in the box. And then, matter of fact, I could probably even return it to Walmart or whatever, right? They got some sort of deal, like just, oh, you know, I just don't really want it. And wouldn't you know, when the Amazon dropped it off, they took a picture of it and they said, is this your address? And I'm like, that is not my address. So I immediately like requested a refund. I'm like, oh man, all this and then that. And then maybe like 20 minutes later, just a little ding dong. And I go open up the door. Obviously, Amazon dude already skedaddled out. But then the box is sitting right there with the Ouija board, bro. I'm like, okay, so that Ouija board is for free. I'm not touching it, though.
What did you do with it? Throw it away?
I gave it to him. I think he's since used it for a prop and maybe some other stuff. But
yeah, if he's doing horror flicks, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you also have the power to let power control you. I mean, I think if you move with the right intention, if you're on some like astral projection type stuff, right? It's like when the negative entities try to attack you. It's like when you give them fear, when you give them belief, that's what gives them power. So it's like, I'm strong and, if I do something, I feel like there's a intended message. You guys ever seen Constantine?
Yeah.
Like that's a movie.
It's a throwback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I think they're making a sequel for it.
Keanu Reeves. I remember that. You seen that movie, right? Solo? Constantine?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a movie I love, though. I mean, maybe, I don't know, maybe Solo has, like, more biblical stuff he could point to it, but I feel like it does a really good, it's kind of a scary horror movie, but it's, it doesn't shield and hide away from that, but it does let the power of the light kind of shine through,
Interesting. Very interesting.
It's like you can be dark vibes, you can have a weird aesthetic, but you can still have a good, like, principle message to it, I think, right?
Listen, kid, I gave you a lot of props, so let's not go left with it, please.
I mean, I'm willing to have a conversation, man.
Let's not go left with it, please.
Yeah.
I just pray protection over you, your music, and your family. You know what I mean? Me personally, what you entertain is an open door for spirits and vibes to enter. And if you're not covered by the blood of Jesus, you're not protected at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just pray none of that followed you home. And that's that. It's not my job to force my beliefs on nobody. It's my job to speak my mind. And spiritually, I fight against powers and principalities. I don't fight against your flesh. I don't fight against what you do. I fight against the spirits that attempt to get a hold of you and do things for you. Or you get you to do things for them. You know what I'm saying? So I show people love and all respect. I don't shove gospel down nobody's throats, because I personally don't believe half the things the church believe. I don't believe half the things that people portray in the Bible or take out of context. You know what I'm saying? I'm a different breed, but I also believe that without Jesus Christ in your life and following him the correct way, you do allow some open doors for some generational curses, for some different spirits and demons to enter and create a sauce and start to marinate. You know what I'm saying? It might not see it today, might not see it tomorrow, might not see it next day, but eventually it creates some type of oppression of like a python spirit that just strongholds you to a point to where you start to not feel the way you are. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So, I just pray over you, pray over your family, and good wills for you and your music and anything else you're doing forward.
I respect you, man. I respect your word. I appreciate you.
So good thing you gave away the Ouija board. Hopefully it doesn't come back like the Annie doll.
That'd be wild, right? That was the Amazon moment where I'm like, refund, I don't want this. And then ding dong. It's like just sitting at my doorstep.
Creepy.
I'm like, you're free right now. You're really like an option. Like that's what it's like. Touch and play in case.
Heck
no,
nah.
sir. No, sir.
All right. Well, we went a little bit over because we screwed up the audio in the beginning. Sorry to everybody that didn't see that didn't get to hear all the audio from the very beginning. I'll splice it up on the replay. Figure it out.
Well, appreciate you having me on, man.
You got anything yet? You got any shout outs you want to give or anything like that?
Shout out my boy Mike Rari. Shout out the whole 609 gang. Shout out Jay Coachman. Shout out Kayla Don, Taylor Don. Shout out everybody making moves out here, bruh. Shout out you. Shout out Solo. Man, shout out everybody who's preaching positivity and trying to, I mean, I appreciate this opportunity. This is so dope, man. Like the whole setup and everything. You're like a one-man army here. You got Solo with you too.
Yeah, it is.
I just come in yap, son. He does everything else. All I do is yap.
But like, nah, I love it. This is stuff to inspire to, man.
Well, besides the audio mix up in the beginning, I haven't done one of those in a long time. I haven't screwed up like that in a long time, Solo.
Hey, keep your details.
Although that wasn't my screw up. That was the board.
That's where you go wrong. You start blaming other things.
It was the board.
Screwed up in a while. I give you that. Don't say it was the board. Don't blame it on Elon. Don't blame it on none of that, son.
I'm gonna let you slide today because your nuts hurt and shit.
That's all I've been asking all day, son. All I've been asking all day, son.
I won't break your balls because they're already broken.
Oh man. That's all
all right, son. All right.
We gonna close out with one of Alex Mack's tracks here. I pulled it off YouTube. Something Light. Tell me about that one.
Some light, yo! Shout out Apollox, one of my homies from back in Jersey. He was the producer at one point for me, where he was like the first one that kind of got me into making beats. I hadn't worked with him in super long, and I was doing the weekly drops in 2021. And I was like, yo, I want you to be a part of this, bro. Like, let me get a beat. And that happened to be one. I think he ended up sending 2 during that time period. And that was one of them. And you know, I'd say Something Light was kind of funny because the song kind of represents where I was making music at the time. Because when I was putting out the weekly drops, you know, I did have a stockpile at one point, and I'd spattered them out at certain dates that I wanted, like, you know, that little Chutes and Ladders kind of thing. But I was definitely at some like, some like, and I just kind of caught the melody for that, and then I knew I could get some bars for it, and yeah, that was a fun one. I wanted it to be a vibe, but I still wanted to be able to say something, but like at the same time, like something light.
Yeah, something light.
Something light. And shout out Pablo 2020 Vision for doing the music video for that one too. We filmed that here in Tampa, so.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw Tampa downtown in the background. There was no Ouija boards on this one. No Ouija boards on this one.
Different genre.
Yeah, different genre. I got you.
He's not having it, man.
Love you, bro.
Love y'all too, man.
All right, well, we out. We'll be back next week without any audio issues, hopefully. I should have probably checked that in the beginning, but you know, apparently my board wanted to be bozo. And that's it. Solo, what's good? Out.
Shout out to everybody, man. Hope you have a blessed week. You know what I'm saying? Pray for the basket. You know what I mean? And we're going to keep moving. Yeah.
That's what it is. Pray for the basket. All right. We out. All right, homie. Peace. Stay up.
Alex, you know you spaz on this one, right?
Some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, run with me some night, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, hey, roll with me through a front of foe, they pretend to show, niggas say they see me but they don't, guess we'll never know. Pop up on you hoes like UFOs, disappear and go. How they still be questioning the flow, I'm always on the road. Hey, rolling through it, zooted, maybe I'm rooted. I can study Buddha or Rugas. My shot Tula like I'm Shaka Zula. Maneuver like pop my tutor. You a barracuda for the moolah, baby. Use your game of doula. Some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, with me summer night, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah. Flipping through the city, main event. Parallel my life, I double park. I prefer to sentiment. When I spend my rent to represent. Fucking with me, nigga, I'm the one to really go. Ayy, I get your beat with the bows, yeah. When they hating on the low, ayy. If you trying, we can get it, but these niggas acting like a beer. I pull hoes like Pangea, I bulldoze like kid, little bitch. Some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, run with me summer night, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah, some good sunlight, yeah.
Me, I'm like, overthinking. I fucked it up and you fucked up. I'm just like, bro, yeah.